Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to Sunday night, our first race of Sunday evening on Art Killy 9505. And we're with Will Spin Racing League for full qualifying 50% race at China. One of the. Well, the game rates it is a very easy track. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. There's some really dodgy parts around here that if you use no traction, it's very easy to spin the car around. The long right-hander leading onto the straight would be one of them, and not long before that, you've got the two left-handers, and coming out of there is very tricky as well. So I think, although the game rates it as an easy track, I would say it's more towards a sort of medium difficulty for me. We'll see how to get on. Evening, Glads. Thanks for joining, mate. And, thanks for beating me again last night. For anybody watching, by the way, but me and Glads race together on Saturday nights now, and we're only 2 rounds in, and both weeks I've taken pole, and about 10 seconds later he crosses the line and nicks it back off of me. So it's we got a little rivalry going on now. Well, there's not much of a rivalry because he's too quick for me, but he's a very good racer. But only 2 races in, he's won both, and I've been well, I was second in both, but I had a penalty last night, so I dropped down to fourth. It's there we go. I'll get him one day. I will. I'll get him one day. As long as I win one race, I don't mind. You can have all the rest. You can have the other 14 or whatever it is. As long as I get one. No, thank you, Glads. I have. Well, I said to you, didn't I, in the chat? I have been practicing a lot through the off season in that league, and it does feel like it's paid off. I'm not always beating my TTs, but I'm lapping more consistently close to my TT, and getting a lot closer to it in the qualifying sessions as well. So, yeah, well pleased. But anyway, on to tonight's race, and I only got 13 in the lobby at the moment. We had loads, everybody was signed up for this, weren't they? Sure, we had a full grid comfortably, in fact. No, we had 18. Oh, is that yeah? That is this league. So yeah, we had 18 yeses, 9 declines. We did have some reserves as well, but yeah, we had plenty of reserves. I was expecting a full grid, but certainly not as low as 13. I'm sure there's more to come yet. Hey Bob, thanks for jumping on the stream, mate, and should be a good race. This. That's one thing you can say about China. It does usually give a good race. The only problem really is the only places to overtake around here, to be quite honest, are the end of the straights. So you've got the pit straight into turn one, and then of course you've got the absolute giant back straight, 1.4 kilometers long, I think it is, something like that. So huge in a way. Kind of forces you into running a lower downforce than you otherwise might, because otherwise you might not be able to actually overtake in races. So you get stuck, especially in the rain. That becomes a problem. Get stuck behind the rain is nigh on impossible to pass. It should be an interesting one. As Golden Tornado joins us, and he's doing very well. Let's have a quick gander at the championship, shall we, while we're waiting. So here we go then. So Drivers' Championship at the moment. Jan now leads the way after a win in Japan last week. Picking Loco in second now after picking up a third place. And yeah, Gold Tornado's just dropped down a little bit. Only got the 2 points last night. Had a fastest lap for one of those as well. So yeah, not his best week, but I'm sure he bounced back Looking down the list, Jan's not with us yet, so he's leading the championship, but on 143. Piccoloco, is Piccoloco with us? Yep, Piccoloco's there. He's on 123, so 20 points behind. Golden Tornado's just one further back than that on 122. Then we've got Glad's on 110. Abel's here 99. Maxwell 98. Supply Raptor 93. So, starting to look like I'd say a 4-horse race. I wouldn't say it's 3-horse. I think Glad's is still in there. But probably does need at the very least, a podium tonight, I would say. Let's see how we get on. And constructors, got Williams leading away from Alpine on 275, Alpine 231, so a 44-point gap. And a further 14 behind on 217 is Mercedes, while Ferrari are in 4th on 213. Then 211 for McLaren, so things very tight there. Looks like the championship is probably a 2-horse race between Williams and Alpine, but having said that, if both of those teams were to have a poor evening and one of the next 3 teams, so Mercedes, Ferrari and McLaren, really capitalised on it, then it should be fine. They should find themselves back in it. Just to say, we've lowered it down to short qualifying where it's time to go, and we've only got 14. There may be people joining in qualifying, but I don't think they've let us know. So if they do. But that does mean that we shorten it down to short. I think it's under. Is it under 16 that we do short qualifying, or 18? I can't remember. It's one or the other. Never mind. I've got to be honest. I always get a bit worried that we're cutting a bit fine for my next stream at 8 o'clock, so I never mind cutting it down to short quality because it means I'm guaranteed to make it. So, who's gonna... So, Kai just seems to join the session. Ghost Rider seems to have left the session. So it does look like there is some others joining. Quite sure what's going on, where everybody is. Yeah, so I think it looks like 2 aren't answering, so it looks like, and 2 are joining late, so it looks like we're going to be 16 in the end. So Ghost Rider is there. Is Ghost Rider actually with us though? Because Ghost Rider. I can't view his gamer card, that's never good. Perhaps he's turning off and on. Right, let's get out there then to Chespin, who is first out on track. So, don't really change much doing the short instead of full qualifying. Probably have 3 runs each, I'd imagine. China's a little bit too long a lap to be doing 4 here in short qualifying, so I'd imagine it'd be 3 runs each. Get the best time on the board. In terms of a pole position time, I think we're going to be in the 32s. I'm not exactly sure how far into the 32s we're likely to be. So I'd suggest that we should be in the low to mid 32s, I'd imagine, tonight. Jan not with us, who's usually one of the fastest. But Golden Tornadoes with us, Kai, Glads. Oh, there's a whole load of them. Piccolo. There's loads of enables here. Loads of them that I think we should be putting into the 32s. So Sunrise joins us. That gets us up to the 16. And oh, Chespin's back into the pits for some reason. So who was the other driver then? Was it the Ferrari? I think it was. This is Sub-Zero So Cool, I think that it's supposed to be. Sub-Zero anyway. Never thought I'd be commentating on Sub-Zero. What a character he is in Mortal Kombat. In the Ferrari this evening, so I believe this is a debut, unless it's somebody that's changed their name again. I'm going to go with the idea that's probably their debut. I'll be putting the first lap on the board. Stay on board to just give everybody an idea of what the track's like. I know it's not a very popular track. I'm not 100% sure why, but I know it's not a popular track amongst drivers. I quite like it. I've got no issues with it, but yeah, it's that long right-hander going onto the straight. Look, just gotta. Well, there you go. I was just about to say you just got to be a bit careful with exiting. And well, it looked like a bit icy there for Sub-Zero. That's what I did there. That was quite good, wasn't it? Let's go to Bob Dylan then, who's next on track, and hopefully will be the first to get a time on the board. Comes DRS Open, across the line 135.7. Abel's here 33.7. He's trying to destroy his engine by the looks of it. There's another Ferrari. This one is the Ferrari of Piccoloco. Head to the line. That's 33.0, so not far off the 32s. To say, we do absolutely expect a 32, and I think we're probably going to be quite far into the 32s, so like a 32.3, something like that. 32.2 to 32.3 for pole would be my guess. So then Beast at the final corner, and 33.4. Just coming round. Oh no, he's on an outlap, isn't he? Felix then. Have a name I can't remember, so might be a debut on the mediums as well. Comes up to final corner, and it's going to be a 134.7. Puts in P6 for the moment, but only on the mediums, so plenty of time left in that, obviously. What we've got here, this is Ghost Rider on the back straight. Go Piccoloco, the goats. Hey Nico. I like Piccoloco. Very good driver. Ghost Rider down to the final corner then. What can Ghost Rider manage on his first lap? 133.9. That's not bad for Ghost Rider. That puts him to P4 from the first runs. Into place around the hairpin. And that's a 33.5 into P3. What else we got? Is that Golden Tornado down the straight? I think it is. So I'm expecting this one to pretty much go straight into the 32s. So it looks like he may have had a bit of traffic. But definitely on a good time, but I don't think he's quite going to make it into the 32. So 33.3, but may have been suffering with a bit of traffic. Not so much that they were in the way, but that he was picking up a bit of dirty air off of them. Just in there, back out. Second attempt. First attempt didn't actually go onto the hot lap. He did an out lap, but pitted at the end of the out lap. So I assume he maybe done something wrong on his settings. Spin. So with that double left-hander, you just got to be careful coming out of there. It's a little bit low on traction, but if you catch too much curb on the inside or the outside, it will spin you round. And again, very much here, I find it best to short shift through to 6th. Start accelerating in 4th through to 5th, and then short shift to 6th, and you can pretty much put the power down then. Sub-Zero gets disqualified from qualifying for driving the wrong way. So, which most likely with this game means he spun and then had to turn around, and it's disqualified him because he had to turn around. Just been into P7 with that lap then, a 33.9. Guy into the pits. We've got a couple of drivers on out laps. Here's Glads. What I can see is going to be the next driver to start a hot lap. So we will do then the hilly hot lap with GTV Glads. Sure, I will have done a hilly hot lap with Glads before, but it's been a long time. And there's another one I'd expect to go basically straight into the 32s. Comes in to open up DRS, down the pit straight, hang it over, just gradually make your way over to the left, but you want to be pretty much touching the curve as you turn in to turn 1, and it's engine braking basically all the way round. You may need to touch the brakes as you come to the apex, but it would just be a slight touch. Into turn 2, again, allow the engines to do the work, get on the power, but be a bit careful, it is low on traction on the exit turn 2, head down the straight, turn 3 is just a straight flat out right hander, and then into the heavy braking late apex. I find it best to gear down as you go into the apex and then gear up on exit. Come around to the fast left hander. Certainly in time trial you'd be flat out through that left hander. You may need a slight lift in qualifying, and then we come around to this double left hander, which is again very difficult. It does touch curb on the inside, that's fine, but it's just if you touch too much of it, it will drag you round. And again, I find a light shift down here aids your cornering, and then get yourself up through the gears. He stays in 5th. Personally, I like to short shift up to 6th, but I don't think it makes a huge amount of difference. And then open up the DRS down the straight to head up to the hairpin. Obviously, with the hairpin, you want to brake as late as possible, but you must make the apex. Braking's normally around about the 100-meter board just before it. And down, open up the steering, get on the power, head into the final corner, brake just by the 50-meter board and turn in, and that's a very, very nice lap from Glads. But a 33.1, not a 32, so a little surprise, I must admit. Not just Glads, but I thought Golden Tornado would just be straight into the 32s as well, so a little surprise, but I'm sure they'll get there. So Picoloco remains fastest at the moment. We got. How did I not go? Ah, there we are. Abel's here then, just heading down to the hairpin. And across the line, 133.4. So, boost by nearly 3 tenths, it goes into P5. Ghost Rider just started on a lap, so let's stick with Ghost Rider then and see another full lap. To give you an idea, my time trial around here is 1 minute 31.783. I did check it before coming on just to see what it was, as Baz is now disqualified from the session. We're up to 18, by the way. We were only expecting 16 in the end, but we're up to the number we originally thought we were going to have. But Baz disqualified. So, yeah. So the reason I was mentioning my time trial there, it just allows you to sort of know. So I'd expect that there are guys faster than me in this league, and so you'd expect. I think it is different in qualifying on this track than in time trial, so you do expect them to be a little way off. But there's a 32.5, so we're getting down more now to the region of where we expected. So Golden Tornado 32, first into the 32s on a 32.9, and then Sunrise immediately after 32.5. Ghost Rider then. It's a pretty decent lap, isn't it? Pretty steady. He's on an improvement as long as he makes it a nice exit, which he seemed to. And here it goes, and yep, improves by just over 3.5 tenths. Put him into P9, although somebody else has just jumped up. I think Kai's just jumped into P2 on a 32.9, so that's 3 drivers into the 32s now. Here comes Felix into the pits. That guy not on a hot lap there. Who's that? Sunrise. He's into the pits as well. Close. Yeah, Winter's place is slightly up. Sets of 1. Oh goodness, see what I mean? See what I mean? Just catches too much of the outside curb on that occasion. It just throws him across the track. He actually saved that very, very well, did Winter's place. So that just throws you across into the wall on the opposite side. So he did really, really well there to save that. So I don't think we got anybody on a hot lap unless Piccoloco is on one. He comes then into the final corner. No, into the pits. There you go. Typical. I'll be doing the same. So, yeah, again, I don't think we got anybody on a hot lap unless Winter Place goes again. And he is, so we'll stick with Winter's Place then. Start to lap, slightly up and set to 1 again. So, oh yeah, I just realised actually, just looking at the time we got left in qualifying, he really didn't have a choice, did he? He had to stay out and have another go, have time to come into the pits and get a new set and then go out again. So, but he's not happy with it and he's backed out. Okay. Has he got the fuel to maybe go again? Well, his fuel light's not flashing, so I'd assume he has. We'll see him across the line to start a lap. Well, I think lads... No, he's... Let's go back to where he was here then. So... Just turn 1 nicely. It's important to hit the apex properly on turn 1 into the actual, you know, when it sort of tightens in. You need to be able to, just that little, tiny little bit of space in between turn 1 and 2, you need to be able to hit the power. and then brake for turn 2 again. Valuable bit of time in doing that. That's just about the right amount of curb on both sides there from Abels here. Very nicely, just over a tenth up through sector 2. And this quite often is the corner where people actually have the most to gain. Looks like, to me, Abels here must be a traction player, the way he was able to accelerate out of there. It's down to the hairpin. Get a little toe over the line. 1 minute 33.1. Puts her into P6. An improvement of just over 2 tenths. That's not improving. Just watching over the line. We'll see over tires that on track. I do wish people wouldn't do that. And Glads doesn't improve, so P5 at the moment, but could well end up dropping some places here. Max Van Beast on his final run. Nicely through the hairpin. That gets on the Paragon nicely. DRS open over the line then, 33.001, puts her into P4. Maxwell Van Beast, very nicely done. Golden Tornado nicks pole off of Sunrise, or does he? Yes, he does, because Sunrise is invalidated. But Piccoloco is on a nice improvement. Certainly on target for P3 at the least here. Oh no, he's lost it in the final sector. So stays P5, still very good qualifying, but his improvement he had through sector 2, he was on target for P3, but lost it in the final sector. No improvement at the end there from Ghost Rider. And Glad's lost half a second in sector 1. Wow. It's not easy to do, guys, to be fair, lose half a second in sector 1. It's only turn 1 and 2. Really, 2 and 3 is just a little nick in the road, flat out right-hander, so it's yeah, but they are, the turns 1 and 2, though, if you don't get them right, it does hemorrhage time, to be fair. And half the time, when you do get it wrong, you think, well, what did I do wrong there? It's the same as last time I did it. It's in a way, congratulations to Golden Tornado. He nicked pole off of Sunrise at the end. Sunrise P2, Kai P3 on their returns, so nice to see them back on the grid and flying high as well. Max Van Beast P4, Piccoloco 5, Glad 6, Abels here 7, Chespin 8, Winter Place in 9, and Aiden rounds out the top 10. Ghost Rider, that guy Felix, Bob Dylan in P14, Heat Gang 15, Drunken Shamrock Baz, and I didn't see who was at the end. Kai, well done, mate. Very nice job, P3 on your return. And I know what you guys are like. You're probably going to get straight into it, knowing you lot. So bear with me, guys. I'm going to get myself a quick drink, and I'll be back very quickly. See you in a moment. Okay guys, back with you, and just on the formation lap. Tornado leads them away. A couple of disqualified early on, so Ghost Rider and Felix will still be on the grid, but they're going to have to start with the minimum tyre temperature, which I think is 70 degrees on slicks. Right, quick look at the tyres then. So Golden Tornado is going mediums first. Sunrise hards, Kai hards. Van Beast and Piccolo on mediums, then hards or glads mediums for Abels here and Chespin. Winter Place on hards, so a real mix through in a way. Then you got mediums, Aiden, hards Ghost Rider, mediums for that guy Felix, Bob Dylan. Baz and Sub-Zero at the back as well on mediums, and Heat Gang in 15th, Shamrock in 16th on hards. Oh, Kai says he tried. It was so up and then spun. Never mind, mate. Still P3's very, very good on your return, mate. So, well done. Anyway, qualifying's for show. Races are for dough. Sorry, excuse me. Go around to start, and so can't blame Golden Tornado wanting to go with the mediums first. You know, if he'd have gone hards, you're almost asking somebody to take the lead off of you at the start. So you'd just be wanting a clean getaway, and ideally then, once the getaway's clean and he's sort of settled in, and as are the others behind him, they will just look to have. You just look to then create a gap to the guys on hards. Then it will become a bit of cat and mouse. So what he'll basically be doing is racing around, probably staying on the mediums until a point where the guys on the hards start catching him, and then he'll probably pit to the hards, and the others will pit to mediums. This is all borrowing a safety car, mind. So all lights on, and away we go. And it looks like Golden Tornado did get away pretty well. All sorts of movements going on, but not as well as Sunrise then, who flies into the lead. Tornado looked like he moved pretty well, but he does drop down to fourth at the moment. Oh, he almost went round there as well. But Sunrise nicely away into the lead. Van Beast P2. Chespin up to 3. Abel's here 4. Golden Tornado there recovering to 5th ahead of Kai, but Kai's going to have the inside. Keep it clean through the right-hander, and Ghost Rider picks up 5 seconds for corner cut in, and a severe collision with Glads. As they're both Alpha Tauri as well, so the two Alpha Tauris have come together and dropped down to the back. Not ideal for Glads, who will have to make his way back up through. Well, not ideal for either of them, of course. Piccoloco up into P4. Battles going on throughout really, and that was a bit tight, but Kai managed to save it and will fight again. But, big changes at the start, to be fair. Bob Dylan, I think, has had a moment as well on the right-hander, so he recovers it. It does drop down to last, but he's not too far behind, so plenty of time to make that up, as Efrin still a bit tight going into the hairpin for the first time. Glad's already looking to make his way through the field. Let's go to Golden Tornadoes on the back of Piccoloco. Piccoloco, of course, in qualifying showed he's got good pace here, so it's not going to be easy to get by. And Sunrise, of course, who now leads, is one of the hard starters, so he's naturally going to cause a bit of a train of medium tyre drivers behind him, as you can see. And each of these will be thinking, come on, we've got to get past him. We've got to get past him. Right. Oh, Loco leaves the session. Oh, that's a full course yellow. And I think it's a VSC. I can't see any actual safety car. As Loco joins back. With VSC, I mean, he's going to find himself behind Golden Tornado, who's made up a place while he's been away. But in a way, that's a result for Loco, this VSC, because it stops him losing more places. I've got absolutely no idea what caused it. Series of 17th, I can't see any obvious signs of damage. Ghost Rider had pitted, so it wasn't him. So everybody trying to stay within their deltas at the moment. It's always quite funny on a VSC. Everybody's staying within their deltas, but at the same time just trying to nick a tenth or two off of everybody else. Usually someone tries to join the restart, or time the restart perfectly and ends up picking themselves up a drive-through or something like that. Hey Rose, 89, thanks for joining. Quasar predicts a win for Bob Dylan. We shall see, hopefully. Wouldn't that be nice? So, we are away then. I don't think it should have made any difference to the DRS. I believe that still would have activated. So they should have it. Try to find out. It should open, I believe. Yep, there we go. There's, oh, Kai's dropping down. No, Kai. It's happened. It's on the right-hander. That is not being anybody's friend tonight so far, is it, that right-hander? As Maxwell has a look at Sunrise. And Sunrise seems to get a better exit. But Maxwell's going to get another run down into turn 1. With DRS. I don't think Sunrise really needs to battle this too hard. He's on a different strategy. In recent times, in pretty much every league I commentate in, the hard to medium strategy has proven to be very, very strong. As Sunrise has a little trip off track there, but covers it nicely. And Babel's here, goes the inside there, but that's way too far behind. You make a little move like that from too far back, you're just inviting... The guy in front will turn in on you because they're not expecting it. You're just inviting the driver to take your wing off, really. And they're never going to be at fault for it, because you shouldn't be making a move, you see, so... Babel's here bides his time here. You should find that Maxwell is able to create a slight gap, which should then leave Sunrise vulnerable again. Battle going on further down, and well, it was between Glads and Felix has ended up off track, and that's brought out. Oh, now we've got a full safety car. What for that? Nothing else happened? Oh, hang on. Kai's not got a front wing, so something's happened to Kai. So we might have had Felix off and Kai losing his front wing at the same time, maybe. That potentially, 2 incidents at the same time, potentially could cause a safety car. And Winter Place is into the pits. Going to pit off of the hards. Yes, it's too early for mediums to go to hards, so that's why you're not seeing any of the medium drivers pitting. So, you start on mediums, you kind of want an early safety car because that gives you the advantage of being able to get to the hards early, but not here at China. It's very much a high tyre wear track, very high tyre deg. Game. Only ones who have a penalty so far. Let's just double check what that is. It's not 3 seconds, yeah. There have been other penalties, definitely, but they've been served in the pits. A little bit frustrating, isn't it, that it can't serve the corner cutting ones in the pits. Serve anything with a multiple of 5 you can serve, but you can't serve multiples of 3. So, again, I don't think Sunrise will mind this safety car, quite frankly. He was under a bit of attack. He'd been taken by Maxwell. Abels here was starting to get a bit fighty behind him. A bit feisty. So I think he'll quite appreciate this safety car. Even if nobody really knows what's come out. Obviously the others that appreciate the safety car are the guys that were falling off the back. As they will all be able to catch up. I would suggest that Ghost Rider might just want to get the foot down a little bit. And the other thing could be considered here would be... I just wonder if somebody like... oh, Sub-Zero's round. Always a little bit embarrassing, spinning it under the safety car. Right, Baz is in, so Baz presumably is going to go to hards and try and get them to the end. But I just know it is a really high tire deg track, and I just don't think it'll work. But he could have just left it. He could have... I don't know. He didn't necessarily have to pit that lap. The safety car's almost certainly... He probably... Well, he wouldn't know, would he, Baz? But safety car, I would imagine, is going to definitely do another lap because Ghost Rider still has some way to catch up. Not exactly bombing it down the straight, Ghost Rider, is he? Safety car won't just wait for you regardless, Ghost Rider. You need to catch it. Now, I think it will do another lap. But I'm not 100% sure on that. I think this is the 3rd lap, isn't it? And I think 4 is the maximum that it will do. Sub-Zero now picking up a penalty under safety car. It's never... He's having a nightmare safety car, isn't he? So, most importantly though, he's still going. Still in the race. Yes, Rose, Bristolian accent. Glad you recognise the famous Bristol accent. So, yeah. Right, so yeah, no, we were right then. So the safety car is going to stay out another lap. So... Well, I thought we might see somebody pitting towards the back, if I'm honest. I think if I was... Yeah, to be quite honest, any of these guys, P11, P15 and Sub-Zero as well, quite frankly, I'd have pitted. Ghost Rider's pitting. It's the one I wouldn't have thought would pitted. He obviously can't go to another set of hards, so he's just going to a set of mediums. Shouldn't be any issues in him catching the safety car again. It should be quite easy. I'm South Bristol Rose, so I don't live in Bristol anymore. I live in Devon now, but I'm from South Bristol, so sort of Ashton, Bedminster area. I assume you obviously know Bristol a bit then. So, Sub-Zero nearly clatters into the back of the pack, but didn't. And goes to fight on. Ghost Rider will have just seen the message come out. He just needs to move around a bit. He just make sure you're on the back of the pack, Ghost Rider. He will be, like, you can see the pack ahead. Just, I'm getting a bit worried for him, alright? You know, just trying to look after our lad. Oh, so you're from Devon, but live in Portishead. I'm from Bristol, but live in Devon. Anybody else watching that's from Portishead and lives somewhere else? Yes, Portishead is just sort of like outside Bristol, isn't it? I don't know. I can remember seeing Portishead pretty much daily written on a road by my school when I was growing up. The road to get there from Bristol was just by my school. Ashton Park. Sorry, excuse me, guys. Right then, away we go. And so I was a little bit, I was having a little bit of cough, so I got caught napping a little bit on the restart there. So in a way, as I said before, Sunrise won't mind this. Just allow him to go a bit deeper into the race on these hards. Potentially, could look at swapping to softs later in the race instead, as we get a yellow flag. And yeah, I think it was Mr. Heat Gang. He eased it, Kai just had overtaken. Mr. Man going a little bit slow. He's run to place, looks to get past Felix on the inside of the quick left-hander, but then goes too far wide and has to come off the power, and Felix gets it back. But Aiden is off and out. And he's over on the left there, just about saw him behind us. Oh, and now Sub-Zero's round. And Ghost Rider will make his way past, and that will, yeah, full track yellows again, and it looks like it's a virtual safety car, but with one car retired, another car going round, it was never going to let us, it was never going to let it carry on. Also working, Devon. So, right. Well, despite living in Portishead. It's a long... long commute. Well, it all changes. Well, does it change? No, we're going green before we reach the pits. I was about to say, oh, Sunrise is pitting off the mediums, off the hards even. What's he doing? He's on a VSC, but it's gone green before they've reached the pits. Is it raining? Yes, they're switching to winters. Okay. I thought I saw something, but I wasn't sure. So yeah, we're good. Well, okay, they're switching to winters. Didn't expect that. Oh, you work at Tiverton. Nice. Is it? Well, obviously the question is it wet enough for the inters yet? And how are they getting on? Let's have a quick look at Sunrise to see how he's faring. He's not faring badly, is he? But he's not. I don't think he's quite faring as well as the guys on slicks right now. I think they've gone a little bit early. Sub-Zero didn't get the memo and he's pitted to hards. Maxwell going up to the final corner. Is it in or is it round again? He's going round again, so he doesn't feel it's ready yet. What about the guys behind him? It looks like they're all carrying on, so none of them think it's ready yet. Oh, Winter Place does, so he's in. I think we're definitely on the cusp, but Sunrise, since we left him, has lost over a second, so He's hemorrhaging time, absolutely hemorrhaging it. So these guys, I think, carrying on, have done the right thing. And this could determine almost who wins this race. So no actual battles going on as such at the moment, guys. We've got Glads is on the back of Drunken Shamrock. Another driver. It's actually great to see back on the track, by the way. Drunken Shamrock, very good driver. Just see him out there. They're literally right on the cusp of the turnover. I don't. Nip down. I think we've got a battle about to occur here. Yeah, I think we're wet enough now. Well, that's what I think. The gap, to be fair, between Ghost Rider and Sunrise is pretty stable. It's not as if Sunrise is flying up onto the back of him. So I think this is the correct lap to pit. So I think we'll see everyone in surely this lap that hasn't already. Yeah, in comes Van Beest. Abel Sierra follows him off wide going into the pits. It is a bit annoying, this pit lane, actually. It does give you a corner cut in if you cut it too much. So Drunken Shamrock just managing to pit break in time. But some have gone through, but I do think they're making a mistake now. I think we've got to the point where it's wet enough. So, oh, Sunrise picks himself up 3 seconds. That one in the plan. And he just about nips ahead of Shamrock, who I believe was P4 when he pitted. So that gives us an idea. So yeah, Sunrise gets ahead of Shamrock, who I believe was P4, but he is behind Abels here and Van Beest, who definitely lost time. As Loco gets ahead of Felix into P11. Oh, Felix having a little go back. That's better. So a fast left-hander. Trying to feel their way around there a little bit. And the RS is now officially disabled. So a bit of bumping going on. You'd have thought Felix is just out of pits on these intos. You'd have thought he'd be the one who's been a bit slower. But maybe he's set up for the wet. Maybe he's maybe this is what he wanted, Felix. Perhaps he's set up for the wet, and his car is starting to work for him now. As the top 3 then, so Tornado, Glads, Bob Dylan, all in, Heat Gang in. Somebody went on. That was Ghost Rider. He wants to lead the race for a lap, look, so he's gonna take the lead. I think everybody else is in, so yeah. And you can see Sunrise gets ahead of Glads. Does he? Not quite. It's all tight as Glads has come out the pits. Very, very tight. There was a yellow flag behind. I have no idea who that was. Oh, Sunrise is a bit late on the brakes. But, to be fair to him, he did everything he could to avoid Glads once he realised. So, Ghost Rider leads, but well, no, I mean he's not losing time, is he? It's be incredible if after all this, if we ended up with 15 drivers on intermediates, but actually they should have stayed on slicks. Ghost Rider makes the best decision ever. Looks like Sunrise has had a little moment coming out of the right-hander, and onto the straight and drops down to P11. Well, Ghost Rider's in. It seemed to be losing there, but maybe it's just that part of the track, and the rest is too bad. See where he drops down to as Sub-Zero. It's an incident too far for Sub-Zero, and he is out. It's that left hand. He's actually the left-hander before the right that goes onto the straight. He's had a bit of trouble around there. He's spun a couple of times around there. This time, it's the end of the race for him, and that has caused I believe, a full safety car. Yep, there's the safety car. Be careful going past the safety car, guys. Well, safety car, I don't know if they fixed it actually, but there was a little bit. There was a thing going back. Well, it's going back a few months actually, to be fair, probably before Christmas, that where the safety car was actually driving into people. One mate of mine got taken out his race by the safety car that just drove into him and hit him into a wall. At where was that? That was Singapore. It's hilarious. Absolutely totaled his car. Yeah, so they'll pick up the safety car. Bob Dylan took an extra pit stop, so he's onto a fresh set of intermediates. And Ghost Rider, of course, was in the pits. The safety car actually helped him. He was in the pits when it came out, so it's come out in P12. So back in the running is Ghost Rider to maybe fight for top 10. Something tells me this isn't going to be all of the action in this race. I think there's going to be a lot more to come yet. As we're only just reaching the halfway point, so the end of the next lap, going on to lap 14 now, and the end of the next lap will be the halfway point. So, yeah, on to lap 14. So the end of this lap then will be the halfway point. See if I can make myself a drink while it's while the safety car's out. So it doesn't look like at the moment we're actually going to switch to anything more than the intermediates. It's not looking like it's raining hard enough for us to end up on full wets. We'll see. If anything, it's more likely to go back to slicks than it is to go to full wets, but so we'll see. Just to shout for any of you out there, just to let you know that I'll be back live again at 8 o'clock later on for HRF1. We'll actually be live a little bit before that. With HRF1 we do a pre-qualifying interview. We play a little game with a pair of teammates. So, by all means, it should be live around about 10 to 8 roughly. So, just keep an eye out and come and join us if you want to see what that's about. Otherwise, just come in for the race if you're more interested in that, and it's absolutely fine. Just be cool for you to join. It looks like Bob Dylan took another pit stop, so it's going to mean that this safety car probably goes on and does the full 4 laps again. Although Again, even on the wets, the tyre day is really high. So even on intermediates, the it's not like the last game. I don't know if you remember, but in F121 you could basically do you could do the whole race on intermediates or full wets. So from what I've seen so far in 22, I mean, if we've not had wet, I've not done a wet race at every track, but the ones I have done, you got no chance of getting through the whole race. The closest I've come was Monza, where I got about 3 laps before the end, before I had to actually say, no, I really do have to pit. They're going to blow up any time. So, we just had an overtake. No overtaking under safety car, please. It's not allowed. I don't blame you, Shamrock, for giving you a little nudge there. You're not allowed to drive alongside the car ahead of you. Or the car behind you, for that matter. What's going on there? This is on a postcard on that, but I don't know. Absolutely no idea what they're up to. Yo, Mercedes spun it. Oh, it's Maxwell. It's Max Van Beest. Van Beest. Let's go in just before Ghost Rider gets him. It looks like Kai was told to give the place back as well. So he must have been back facing the right way and starting to move before Kai got past. Felix and Shamrock are still messing about. They're lucky I can't clip, you know. If I could clip this, I'd be clipping this and sending it to the stewards. Even if they are only having a bit of fun, I'd still do it just because I like getting people in trouble. I love getting people in trouble, it's hilarious. Going away. We should be resuming. There you go. There's the confirmation. Safety car in this lap. That means we resume lap 17, meaning 12 laps remain of this race. What are you doing? Right then, let's go to lads who in P3 currently. Great race considering, if you remember, he had a spin early doors that drops him right down to the back at one point, so he's covered all the way back through the P3 somehow. May have been helped slightly by the safety car, but oh, they're into the pits. Fronts are they? Yeah. It's a golden tornado. What's going on there? As Jonathan Shamrock and Felix. Well, that was the most obvious thing in the world. As Shamrock goes well wide. It tells me Felix is driving around with a slight raised smile. right at this moment in time as the Alpine almost loses it. Careful, guys. Well, the two that come into the pits have gone to full wet tyres. I was completely wrong about this. This does look like it's too wet. It is too wet. Look at the puddles all over the track. If you wanted to drive, like myself actually, I'm not great at it, but I do know that when you're in this situation and you're having to change, I know one of the rules is generally if there are actual puddles on the track, then it's full wet tyre weather. So that's kind of the sign on this game. It's time to change. Always go with your instincts, though. That's what I would say. Always go by your instincts. But if we go to Golden Tornado, who's on the back of Kai. Kai has absolutely no chance. Look. I don't know if this guy got some damage. He really has fallen off at the back. Doesn't seem to have damage, but I think he must have had a spin or something. But these two, Golden Tornado and Abel's here. What a shout this is. I mean, Glad seems to be doing alright, mind. He's pulled out nearly 3 seconds at the front. Sunrise up into 4th and Winter Place into 6th. In comes Glads. Felix, Piccoloco, are they all in? Looks like they're all in. It is follow the leader into the pits. Apart from Drunken Shamrock, who's going for gold, and there's a full safety car out. What's the game saying? Ooh. Tell you what, it's lucky you didn't get disqualified then if the game was suddenly stay behind the safety car. Didn't do that before. You won't gain by the fact that you can now pit under safety car. But absolutely no idea what this is for. Absolutely no idea, and there's no retirement. I assume somewhere along the line there has been a contact which has caused damage and the debris has brought out a safety car, but I'm assuming that we are set on standard safety car. Yeah, we're on standard safety car. It's it. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's up to the league, obviously, but that is it's the exact reason why I always advise to use reduced league races, because it's well, to be quite honest, it's the most realistic setting that you can use, because it will only bring out a safety car if the it's a retirement where the car is on track, and so, sometimes it will bring one out if there's been 2 incidents and there's debris all over the track, so which is exactly what it would do in real life, so that's absolutely fine. That's why I say it's the most realistic setting. Now they are all bunched together, but the safety car won't come in this lap. It will definitely stay out another lap. So rain. Oh my god, go big loco. Hey again, Nico. And French is still being here, and he's doing alright. It's Piccoloco. Keeping himself out of harm's way, I think, is the way to describe his race at the moment, and I think that's pretty sensible. So Shamrock then is into the pits. That will drop him all the way to the back. Yeah, I was totally wrong about the weather, wasn't I? Literally said it. I don't think it's not going to be raining enough to go to full wets at any point. Completely wrong on that. Done so little running on the intermediates, you may as well. If somebody had pitted to wets right at the start, they'd be P1 now, because almost all the intermediate laps were done under safety car. But the thing is, 2 safety cars in this race that, as far as I can tell, absolutely no reason to come out whatsoever. I'm sure something happened, but it's nothing that should have caused the safety cars, so... So it should be in this lap. Everybody's called up. So Junkin Shamrock is called up to the back. There's the confirmation safety car in this lap. That means we resume lap 20, 9 laps remaining. It's just a sprint to the end on the wets. For some reason we're getting a position change under safety car. Right, back to the leaders. Abels here is going to find himself under attack, surely. Big Loco able to, or I think Piccolo, we got a little nudge from Winter's Place behind then. Winter's Place has become vulnerable to Chespin. And looks like Chespin's got this if he gets a decent exit. Usually the car on... Oh, that's Piccoloco! There's that contact. Bad contact, Piccoloco's out. Looked to me like the car alongside lost it and hit him into the barrier. That's what it looked like at first glance. There will be no safety car for that. We will continue on, but sorry, Nico, that is the end of Piccoloco's race. Unlucky Piccoloco. And oh, goodness me, and that's Red Bull. I think Kai losing its wing. No. Everybody really going for this. As Sunrise wants to... Oh, Sunrise and Kai are hitting each other now. Kai has no front wing. Ironically, he's probably going to be absolutely lightning up this straight. He's never going to make the... Oh, I fear for the guy ahead of him here. Oh, he started braking very early. To be fair to him. Oh, he's lost it on the exit. Into the pits, and I wouldn't be massively shocked to see a retirement. Anyway, to the leaders as TTB Glads looks to see if he can get after Golden Tornado. Piccoloco not happy. I don't blame you, man. I never saw... I don't really see what happened, but it looked... I got a quick glance. And it looked like the car alongside you lost it and hit you, but I can't say I'm 100% sure on it. It is on the stream, though, if you need it. On this, a bit scared to watch further down because there's all a bit of mayhem going down through the pack. But is exiting the pits, so it looks like he is going to come out. Do some laps. So what has Glad's got now? I mentioned actually, I think I mentioned before the race or in qualifying that when it gets wet around here, it's incredibly difficult to overtake. This straight is your best option, but if you're running a higher wing than the car in front of you, it's nigh on impossible. So, see there, Golden Tornado gets a much better exit, lads. Yeah, just absolutely no chance. So obviously Glads will be looking some point before the end of this race to get to do much better through the right-hander, but it's so difficult when you're running in dirty air, the car ahead on that right-hander. So that guy, they're free wide. That's nice and tidy. Tidy. Looks like it did look like, but yeah, I think Bob Dylan's come out on top of this one. Oh, but he just goes, almost loses it. Seems to snap him oversteer and just almost loses it, and he drops to 13th. The difference that made. A perfect exit there, and he'd been running just inside the points, but he's now P13, but he's still in the fight. No, he's not, because he spun around at turn 1. Never mind. Lots could change yet. We're back up to the leaders. They've become our shortest gap. Really see all sorts of people watch the streams, and not just players themselves. So, you know, if you don't play the game, I cannot begin to tell you how difficult this is. It's full wet conditions. It's like a monsoon. And if you run no traction, so I race no traction. If you run no traction, it's exceptionally difficult. It's difficult enough on medium traction. If you run no traction in these conditions, it is so hard. It is still an advantage to run no traction. I know a lot of people tell me I'm wrong now, but I'm not. It is still an advantage to run no traction in these conditions. I think people just aren't necessarily that good at it, and so they say, oh no, it's an advantage to run with traction in these conditions, but it's not. It's still quicker in no traction. It's just a case of being used to it and practicing it, basically. Other than the two leaders, well, you can see yourselves actually that Chespin has caught onto the two leaders, and Winter Place is right on the back of Chespin. Chespin has a penalty, so Winter Place looking to pick up the podium off of him. That is Bob Dylan, nearly the same place actually as he had a problem on the last lap, so I don't know if he's got any sort of damage that may be causing that. It's a heavy right-hander. He's got some sort of rear wing damage, maybe. Yellow flag is down with Kai at the back. Not sure what for, he seems to be carrying on absolutely fine, so not entirely sure why it came out, but it did. And let's come back up to top then. The way is that when I go onto a driver and start to watch a battle, they seem to lose ground every time. I think we got a closer one. Here we go. It's a sunrise on the back of Heat Gang. As Heat Gang picks up 3 seconds for that little trip off road. So this is for P7. Both, having said that, both have penalties. Both likely to drop positions at the end. Another couple of laps and we'll bring the penalties up. So now, we're going to look at it in a moment. There's Let's get another yellow flag for Bob Dylan then, but he seems to be going along quite nicely on the track map, so I'm not too sure what. He may have just had a little moment as that Shamrock has had a moment as well. And he was off. Yeah, so Shamrock must have been off track before reaching the corner, perhaps missed his braking and went off track to avoid the cars ahead. It's probably the most likely reason, and it's given him a 10-second corner cutting penalty, which in plain terms is absolutely ridiculous. 3 seconds would suffice. Just like that for Abels here. Abels here, he's running a P13. So out onto the straight one more time, and heading towards lap 25, so 4 laps remain at the end of this one. Oh, it's a bit of lag on my screen, and I thought on my screen it looked like the Heat Gang lost it slightly, but turns out it's a bit of lag on my screen, so Shamrock is into the pits, and he retires the car. Slightly disgusted, I think, at the 10-second penalty he got, but there you go. It still remains our closest battle, although one for the leaders is close as well. As Abels here is out, and that is a crash. He's round here. His car's moving. He's retired on track. There he is. The computer has put him there. That is an AI that's put him over there, because the car moved. If he'd have actually crashed out, the car would stay stationary. I'm doing this long enough to know that, and so that's a retirement on track from a driver. That in any league should be penalised with at least a quali ban for the next race. So back to the leaders then. I think we'll probably stick with these guys to the end now. Lap 26, so 3 laps to remain for Glads to see if there's any way he can snatch this win off of Golden Tornado. Does look a bit at the moment like it may be a case of just following him and looking for a mistake. And as promised, I'll bring the penalties up as well. So Chespin has 3 seconds, as does Sunrise and Bob Dylan. Heat Gang has 6 seconds, which at the moment would seem to drop 2 places, so he's just about hang on into the points. Again there, it just looks like Glads, he seems to get close to Golden Tornado within half a second on his gearbox, and that seems to be causing him a snap of oversteer, which is making him drop back. So by the time we get to the straight, he's got no chance. To be fair, Golden Tornado seems to be running a decently low wing, so I don't think it's going to be easy for Glads, even with Slipstream. As you can see, actually Glads as well on 6% energy, so he's used his energy in his attempts already. So it really may be a case of just following behind, and if he's going to get a win, it's more likely to be down to a Golden Tornado mistake rather than Glads being able to do anything about it, quite honestly. Chespin absolutely stayed with him as well, so Chespin having a superb race. Unfortunately, going by my rules, I can't award him driver of the day today because he's got a 3-second penalty, and anybody that follows me reasonably regularly will know I don't award driver of the day to people with penalties. Just have a quick look through the field, but yeah, no, nothing going on anywhere else. Oh, Kai, so much going on elsewhere. Kai is flying off track, coming out of the right-hander that leads onto the straight, and it's proven to be a costly evening for Red Bull for front wings. I mean, not the comeback that Kai had been dreaming of. But, it's been a difficult race, isn't it? So, Kai retires in the pits. So you need another wing. Bob's come out again. So, top of my head, if I remember rightly, it's retirement in the pits is one thing. I think you're allowed to do that in WRL, but retirements on track is basically a no-no in any league. So we cross the line to head on to the final lap 28 of 28, and I wouldn't say it's been a race to remember as such, but it's been difficult. There's no doubt about that. It's been a hard race. It's, as often happens in these sorts of races, though, the usual suspects somehow always seem to end up at the front and they make the right decisions. And Golden Tornado, obviously Abel's here, unfortunately it didn't work in the end for, but Golden Tornado pitted to full wets perfectly. And that is why he finds himself at the front of the pack and is able to defend that position. As it stands right now, Golden Tornado P1, Glads P2, Chespin is P3, but Winter Place is within the penalty range, so it looks like Winter Place is going to take that podium. Sunrise and Mr. Heatgang both on 6 seconds, so they're both going to lose out to that guy. Yeah, and then I don't think either of them lose out to Ghost Rider, so I think they'll both hold on to P8 and P9. Anyway, up to our leader. I think Lads isn't the sort of driver that's going to send a lunge from that far back, so absolutely perfectly respectable driver. And as is Tornado in my experience, so across they come. Golden Tornado will win the Chinese Grand Prix in wheel spin racing. Glads in a superb P2. Winter Place on the penalty then into P3. Chespin 4. Felix 5. All sorts of silliness going on under the safety car though. With Shamrock, that will probably need to be looked at. Sunrise P6, but drops to 7, 8 on penalty. Van Beest into P6 then, and well, in fact Mercedes into 6 or 7, Van Beest 6. That guy in 7, Sunrise then in 8. Heat Gang with his penalty P9. Ghost Rider nicks a point. Just showed earlier in the race where it looked like he was out of it. He's kept going, kept himself going, stuck with it, and he's come out in the points. Baz P11 and Bob Dylan will close it off in P12. Difficult driver today, if I'm honest. Game awards it to Winter Place. I'll just have a look at the standings and I'll make a decision off of there. Not the stats, the race results. So come out onto the podium then, and Golden Tornado does a little dance. Do a little dance. Hey, little love, get down on that. Right, that's enough of that. So Golden Tornado, it takes the fastest lap as well. Lads, Tornado, pole, race win, fastest lap. Yeah, I was thinking Glads because he did spin and drop down to the back, and he's had to get back through, and he's ended up P2, so close to the win. So I think it's going to be a massive shout out to Glads and Winter Place on their performance today. But my driver of the day is going to be Golden Tornado. He's taken pole position. He's won the race. He's got fastest lap. So I think, in all fairness, I don't think that I could really give it to anyone else. Justify giving it to anyone else. So always look for standout performances through. Felix from 13th foot to 5th. But there was that silliness under safety car going on with Shamrock. I don't know what that was all about. That guy as well, 12th to 7th, had a really good race. So fair play to you. Heat Gang, 15th to 9th. Some really good performances in there. So fair play, guys. Let's say I don't think it's going to go down as a race to remember as such. But I think what we can say is that was definitely one of the most difficult races of the season. And so as a whole, I think on the whole, most have got through it very well. There were some silly incidents, a little bit of silliness in the racing when we'd gone to full wets and the safety car finished, but we were getting closer and closer to the end, and I think sometimes a bit of silliness creeps in as it's like a bit of a sprint to the end. Other than that, yeah, just some little things to iron out. Got a retirement on track from Abel's here, so that'll be something for Bob to look at. But yeah, other than that, guys, I think all in all, I think they did really well considering the conditions. That was really, really hard. So fair play. Qualifying was great too. So well done to all you guys. Say my driver of the day is our winner, Golden Tornado. So congratulations to him for the race win and driver of the day. But also to Winter Place on P3 and Glads on P2. So I'll put a little message in the chat, guys, just to say congratulations. But so I'll see you there. Don't forget, guys, I'm back live around about 10 to 8. I should be back live. Quick interview with a couple of drivers before going into quali for HRF1 at 8 p.m. Please come and see us for that one. It's going to be a really good race. So I'll see you then. Good night, God bless. If you don't come along, please enjoy the rest of your weekend. And what's left of it, and have a safe week at work or whatever it is you do. So good night, God bless.